Hey everybody, prompted by Dramatist Play Service, I'm going to perform a piece I wrote about 10 or 12 years ago upon my first trip to Russia, St. Petersburg actually. I was invited to the very first gay, lesbian, trans film festival called Side by Side in 2008, and I was prepared for trouble because the hosting cinema had pulled out after a national film figure derided the event as a festival for child molesters. And I was really inspired by the courage of the organizers. They were three women forced to work under false names. Ksenia, Irina, and my favorite nom de guerre, Manny de guerre. That was her nom de guerre, which means name of war. So I brought my friend Sasha along, a new friend who was originally from Moscow and hadn't been there since he was 16. It was like 10 years. So here we go. September, it's called Forced. September 30th. We arrive and the airport is thick with techno music. Boom, tss, boom, tss. I immediately clock the national facial expression, a depressed glare. All the women are dressed like J-Lo in winter. So far, so gay. At immigration, Sasha is sweating because if they find out he's still technically a Russian citizen, they'll force him into military service. The last time he was here was for the funeral of his sweet, bohemian, drug-addicted father. After the service, Sasha stood on a sixth-floor balcony with his stone-faced stepmother who told him that his father killed himself because Sasha came out to him. In the next split second, he realized he was a person capable of pushing another person off a balcony. Just as suddenly, the moment was gone. Irina, a vibrant pixie with hair dyed the color of 60s movie blood, picks us up in a lady cab, which is the all-female official taxi fleet of the festival. Lady cab will protect you, purred Irina. In the swanky hotel, the Chechen chambermaids stare at the floor as we pass. In our room, there's a $25 bottle of water and a box of condoms with the brand name Forced. This is for reals. I notice a small patch of wetness pooled on the carpet directly in front of a locked door. Maybe a maid is giving birth in the closet, says Sasha. I check the bathroom. God, you can't take a dump without hearing this shit. We head to the local Mac Cafe, which is McDonald's answer to Starbucks. That eternal question. When I ask for a cappuccino, the girl looks as if I asked to take a shit in her purse. I notice nearly every market square features a giant spherical padlocked steel cage full of watermelons. Near us is a Kevlar'd policeman with a jacket that spells out OMOH. We catch sight of the backwards word in a mirror. Homo. We laugh at him. He glares. Jet lag bulldozes us into bed. October 1st. We visit the Kunstkammer, which is Peter the Great's museum of art and wonder. Peter built the city as the, quote, window to the West, and he encouraged enlightenment by ruthlessly stamping out ignorance and superstition. At the time, peasants regarded birth defects as the work of the devil. But Peter hailed these unfortunates as children of God and decreed their deceased bodies be accepted as legal tender. The museum is filled with the high denomination currency of strangely shaped fetuses in jars. A hyperencephalic baby, its bloated cranium garlanded with flowers. A stillborn cradling its tiny conjoined twin in its spindly arms. The stick figure skeleton of a two-headed boy regarding himself with surprise from a wishbone neck. Each jar issues a tiny blow to my heart. Even in the museum. October 2nd. Tonight is the opening, a screening of my film Hedvig. We check out the the new last-minute festival venue. It's a cool alternative space that's a long, desolate walk from the subway. Irina worries about skinhead attacks. Ksenia's more worried about the police. We head back to the hotel to meet my friend Basil, who's on the festival jury, and to rehearse the Russian song I'll be singing at the party. Irina calls. The fire department has just shut down the venue. The opening is canceled. They won't even let us come to the club because a phalanx of homos in body armor have arrived to prevent a press conference. I notice the wet spot in the carpet in front of the locked door in my room has grown. Deflated, we decide we must find gay people. So we head over to the only queer club in the city of 5 million. Porn impresario Michael Lucas, a native Russian, will be performing there the following night. Sasha and I had brunch with him the previous week in New York. He's a very political-minded person. Russia is anti-gay, anti-Semitic, anti-American. It's my first time back in years. Well, why are you going? I asked. Money, he replied. I'm going to jerk off in a chair, no dancing, no ass, maybe not even come. Fuck him. Next day I will brunch with my relations. So we show up in front of the club. The two bouncers standing behind a lonely velvet rope ignore us. Sasha says, "Can we go in?" "The cashier is not here." "Well, when will he be back?" "I don't know." "May I shit in your purse?" Oops, 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 oops. We walk away in black silence, and I can see memories boiling in Sasha's eyes. Back at the hotel, the wet spot is half the size of the room. It must be a leak behind that door, I offer. Sasha looks grim. Maybe there's a wall of water behind that door. I call the front desk. They thank me, but no one comes. October 3rd. A morning press conference attended by a handful of reporters is held in a preschool. Everybody has to wear blue surgical booties over their shoes to protect the soiled cream carpets. I sit next to a bubbly trans person from Kazakhstan. Sasha talks about Russian homophobia connected to the tradition of gay rape as a kind of welcome wagon for young military conscripts. The fact that the city government isn't openly trying to shut us down is a kind of progress, I suggest. We all feel better afterwards, even the reporters. A sweet, emo-ish journalist named Leonid offers to take us out to the cool places. That night we go to God Damn It, a hetero bar that resembles a submarine, filled with couches, and it's mercifully free. We swill pine nut vodka, and soon there's laughter and cuddling. Irina announces that the festival will not be stopped. They will find a secret venue and advertise solely by text. We all cheer as she dances like Martha Graham doing Beyoncé. What was that Flannery O'Connor line? If she'd only lived her life like she had a gun to her head. Horrific coming-out stories start to flow, hysterical laughter. Then Sasha downs that fateful glass, the Uncle Vanya shot. The one that finally burns through the thin membrane between irony and despair that encases all of Russian literature like a forced condom, and he is suddenly sobbing uncontrollably. I smooth his tears into his hair. They didn't let me cry for him at the funeral. Now I can do it. For him, not for me. Faces of people I could have saved in my own life flicker in front of me. He regards me with pale, wide eyes. I think he was gay, my dad. For real. So does Mom. I take him home and we fall on the bed to claw holes in each other and bury our faces in them. Not so much to hide from the white-hot hand-me-down sadness, but to conduct it into each other's bones, through the bed, past the floor, into the earth below. Our plan works, and the pain dissipates. Now I know why I came, he whispers. We sleep. October 4th. We wake, and the wet spot has claimed the entire room. We wade out, pack up, change rooms. The new one is sunny and dry with Japanese decor. That evening, Leonid takes us to an authentic, old-school Russian artistic/social gay salon. A longtime male couple, Lyosha and Lyosha, who live with their mothers during the week, rent a flat so they can be together on weekends. It's the former abode of the poetess Anna Akhmatova, revered by Russians and one of the only persons Stalin could not manage to kill. Her belongings decorate the apartment like a museum. The guests are warm and intelligent. The overhead lighting is harsh. Next to a biography of Tchaikovsky written by a guest lies a Russian short bus DVD. Splashed across the cover is a big-titted blonde who doesn't appear in the film. A cigarette smoke softens the faces of Anna's murdered poet friends whose portraits dot the walls. A signed sketch of Lenin, sealed in a glass bookcase, smiles vaguely at us as we gorge on escaped watermelon. Lyosha retrieves milk from an old-fashioned cold cupboard, a cabinet whose rear wall is open to the frigid night sky. I peek in. Beyond the silhouette of Red Bull and Stoli gleams a pear-shaped moon. "I have a cold vagina," announces a blonde woman. "It eventually leads to a cunning little Paris bistro." Sasha laughs helplessly along with the rest. He's finally found his people. But the laughter has developed a corrugated edge. Uncle Vanya shots are being poured. I excuse myself, and I retreat to the hotel. Drunken Sasha and Leonid wake me up in a haze. We're suddenly in a three-way. "Tie me up," whispers Leonid. I cast about for some rope. "Tie me up!" I lunge for some long johns. Should I use a half hitch? I lash his legs to Sasha's dick and tie it all off in a bow. We resume the sex with unfunded ferocity until I raise a hand. "Look, there's half a hard-on between us. I'm calling this three-way off." October 5th. After breakfast, we all head to the secret screening venue in high spirits. It's a tiny dance studio. Irina is worried. "Don't tell the dancers that we are gay." The little room is packed with young people, gay, straight, whatever, all with the same eager, bludgeoned-looking expression. Then Hedvig appears for the first time on a Russian sheet. Sasha and I go out for a smoke during it. I see a fine-boned teenage boy glaring to himself on an idling bus nearby. He glances over at us with our arms around each other, and then quickly away. But I discover I can watch his reflection in a window, but he knows this trick too, and his reflected eyes suddenly meet mine. I flinch and start to avert my eyes, then I remember I don't live here, and I grin. Surprised, he flashes back a bright blue smile of near total comprehension. Then fear douses it. He averts his eyes, and the bus pulls out. I think of Isaiah's six-winged angel, the creature closest to God. 2 wings kept it aloft, 2 covered its shameful body, and 2 covered its eyes, for to look upon a love unfathomable, one might go blind. For a moment I wonder if the angel was just afraid God would look away first. Sasha, having witnessed the exchange, kisses me. We go back in and find the credits rolling and the little studio hot with hope. Hands cover mouths to keep it from escaping. I tell the audience I'd like to dedicate a lullaby to the city authorities. They've been working so hard to keep us apart. They must be exhausted. Tired toys are sleeping. Books are sleeping too. This song, in translation, of course, played every night on Soviet television and continues to this day. It's the song to tell kids when it's time to go to bed. Everyone in the theater or the studio sings along. Blankets and pillows are awaiting little children. Even the story is sleeping, the better to find us in our dreams. Close your eyes and wish the story nighty-night. Спят усталые игрушки, книжки спят, Одеяло и подушки ждут ребят. I can't remember the rest.